what, if any, drugs or alcohol may be in his system. David and Liz.
All right, AJ, thanks. We got Nina Pineda in the area as well by Times Square, by our GMA studios.
Here we go.
Nina, can you check in with you right now and tell us what you got?
Yeah, David, we're up on the second floor of the GMA Times Square studio looking over what appears to be pieces of the vehicle. You're looking at in front of the Hard Rock Cafe at 43rd and 7th. You see where those little yellow cones are on the sidewalk in front of the Hard Rock there? Those are pieces of the vehicle that ran onto the sidewalk, again, right in front of the Yankees clubhouse. This is all on the first floor of the famed Paramount building. Again, a piece of the bumper there. And Jamie, go back right by the 21 there behind the truck. You see a large piece of the bumper of the vehicle cordoned off there with the police barricades in front of Bubba Gump Shrimp Company, continuing now in this drive up 7th Avenue the wrong way. The vehicle, I can only imagine, was just losing pieces as it struck into pedestrians, which is horrifying to think about. Now we're right in front of Viacom, right in front of the Oakley store, Jamie. See that on the ground there where it's marked off by caution tape? That's a big piece of the bumper. Now I'm looking at two pieces of the bumper. I don't know what direction the car was facing, that two big pieces of a small car could be, you know, about a block and a half apart, as pieces of this car sheared off with the driver in the vehicle hitting pedestrians along the way. It's just horrifying to look at the scene. And now finally, one more block up from 44th and 7th at the corner of 45th and 7th. There you see the red Honda on its side, stripped of both the back bumper and the front bumper, which we see just leaving this trail as it went the wrong way up 7th Avenue and left this trail of destruction. It is a ghost town here at the Crossroads of America. There is a giant design market set up. Of course, since they shut down Times Square, made it mostly a pedestrian mall. There's all kinds of food trucks, vending, and as everyone's been saying, it's been a beautiful day with people taking advantage of the weather. But just to see this from the vantage point of the GMA Times Square studio and the path of destruction and the pieces of the car is truly horrifying.
Very powerful vantage point. Like you said, I don't think I've ever seen Times Square on a beautiful sunny day with not a soul to be seen in this picture. And you can also just get a huge idea, a scope of how big this crime scene is.
Oh, completely. Jamie, the fire truck just moved. Jamie, go right back to that. See how they have the 4 police barricades? Yes. And then you see the bumper. That appears to be, I don't know if it's the front or the back bumper, but it's like a whole piece sheared off in one solid piece. So what are you hitting with the force of this vehicle? I mean, we're in such a pedestrian city. We're just trusting every day that we walk around and cross the crossroads that someone's going to stop and that you're not going to get run over. And here is an example of when car versus person in these incredibly crowded streets, the force of the vehicle and how much would have to happen for these bumpers to be sheared off. A block away, so this is in front of Bubba Gump Shrimp Company, the first bumper. The second one is about half a block away in front of the Oakley store, and that's just sitting there as well, upside down. And then as you go further up the street, all we see now on the street, Jamie, come back so we can get a vantage point of the car. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio. Well, we'll continue to monitor from our vantage point.
Nina, you're giving us a great idea of the travel that it took, because right where your position is where it started. It started right in that spot, in that area around 42nd Street, when he jumped on the wrong way and went on the sidewalk, and then went north up the block to 45th Street, which is about 4 blocks away, 3 blocks away, and finally coming to a crash there at the stanchions. Only imagine the street must have been packed with people, as it is every day in Times Square, and the result, 1 fatality, an 18-year-old woman, 23 injured, and again, 4 of those in critical. But they are telling us that those injuries are not considered life-threatening.
Yeah, we're really just hearing some of the very beginning of the horror of what these people endured when that car just went out of control. Still lots of questions regarding Richard Rojas and whether or not this was an out-of-control accident or whether or not it was a deliberate crime. We're going to have throughout the afternoon on this breaking news. Again, we're going to leave you right now with pictures of Richard Rojas as he was being taken by police to be tested for drugs and alcohol. We'll see you this afternoon on Eyewitness News, 1st at 4.